are you guys? And happy Tuesday, March 3rd. And a happy birthday to a few of my friends. I actually have 3 different friends' birthdays today from all different parts of my life. So happy birthday to you guys. You know who you are. You don't watch me, but no, you don't watch me. Anyways, how are you guys? It is cold today. I kind of wish that this was March 1st today, because then maybe we'd have like a lion and out like a lamb march, but instead it was really, really nice on March 1st and a little bit cold and chilly. Now that being said, it's not that cold, but it just felt like it today. So first Tuesday of the month means discount shopping day in our local town. I'm from Canada here, and so that means I go and buy dog food all the time. So I was in grocery shopping today getting some dog food and some ahas for my husband. What were you up to today? Okay, so I'm going to pop you down. I worked with some DSP yesterday, the product of the month. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator for the last 23 years, and there is a brand new product of the month this month. It is a stamp set. It's beautiful. This is something fairly new that Stampin' Up has started, is that in Canada, with each $100 that you purchase, you have a chance and an opportunity to purchase a product of the month for $5. And last night I was talking about the Fabulous Sayings stamp set, which is no longer available if you would like the English version. There is still the $5 French version of it available, and you are able to get that if that is where you're at. But a couple months of it were designer series paper that I hadn't really cut into, so I showed you a couple cards, so I will do that. And then I just thought, you know what, I don't know what I'm going to do, but we're going to show off a little bit more paper, because there's a lot of really great paper. Not necessarily, oh, I'm going to turn off the light instead of bringing it down over to the thing. That's funny. Typical of me, hey? There are my finished cards. I need to photograph them. Do you see this little piece here? So very bold, flirty flamingo. Not sure what I'm thinking of it. Shy, so I did add a little bit of, I don't know how many people are with me when we had blue, not blue, but all sorts of colors of seam binding. I actually have this in my racks of ribbon, and I'm wondering if recently we did have one more seam binding. Years ago we had several colors of seam binding. Nicest ribbon to work with. As I tied the bow last night, I was like, yep, nicest ribbon to work with. So I finished off that card. This is the product of the month. The very first one that was released, excuse me, I think in December. And then this was last month's. And then, like I said, the words, which aren't here, I couldn't find them. And I still didn't find them last night, actually. I don't know if I said I'm Lori LaRose, and I am disorganized. No, just teasing. I am Lori LaRose, and I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, 23 years. So I have lots of different ribbons. This Flirty Flamingo is a ruffled one. I'm pretty sure this was when it was actually, geez, was it? We had in colors. So we have new in colors being announced, and also coming out the start of May, rather, and I have to think which month goes first there, of May, and some then, of course, retiring. So we're saying goodbye to Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Summer Splash, Peach Pie, and Shy Shamrock. I kept thinking I wanted to say Shy Shamrock, and it wasn't coming to my mind. Anyways, I think that Flirty Flamingo might have been, because we had 5 different scrunchies, I feel like, and that is old then, because now Flirty Flamingo, oh, maybe it's not. Hang on 1 second. It is. I'm sure Flirty Flamingo is now part of our world. Just 1 second, I gotta look. Flirty Flamingo is. Like I said yesterday, I just about don't know what's going on anymore with our Stampin' stuff, so I'm always confused. I kind of like it. It's a splash of color. Already went with the bold green, and now I'm like, well, you know what? Anyways, do like this. Changed out. I had actually an identical one from last night. I put the brass one on, the bronzy one, copper, I guess, maybe. And I had a gold one laying around, and I kind of like the gold one a little tiny bit better. Even though I think if I wasn't lazy, I would probably put a silver one on it. But anyways, okay, so that's 1 card and 2 cards. Not positive that I'm going to put that on. I will tell you that I brought in a little bit of pink, and he just seems a little bit tinier, too tiny to me. So you can let me know, did you like that or that? Now, would I like this color that big? Maybe. So I'm still, the jury's 100% out. What I really think I might do is bring in some pinkish gems on there. All right, let's find some paper. One paper that I was loving, and but I feel like I worked with this, so I won't necessarily work with this today. But all sorts of DSPs to work with. So I'm going to pull in a new DSP. I have one example of this right here on my desk. So this guy here, cut out balloons and this little shape, and then this is this piece here, and this is the boardwalk. Whole bunch of new stuff dropped today, by the way. A couple things not available as bundles. One of the sweet ones that people I think were kind of waiting for was this Cutest Crew. Not 100% sure, the word's not 100% in when the dies for this bundle will come out. If you're just looking at the stamp set, that is available today. It started today. And again, adding that to your cart with $100 will let you get in on the product of the month. Make sure that you take a peek at the product of the month and see if it's for you. I think it's quite sweet. What did I just see? Oh, this little set from 100 years ago. I was getting out something else. And the set's going to be, it has a little, I think it has a little deer, but the deer's lying down. Doesn't have an owl. Has a goose, I think, or a duck, a goose. And I think it does have a little rabbit and a tree. So this is a really old one. Doesn't have a date on it, so it's sometimes after about 2008. But that was a cute set that we had. That proves that I'm old Stampin' Up demonstrator. Well, it doesn't necessarily prove it. Maybe I just bought the stamp, but if you saw how many stamp sets I have still that are in wood, that would probably tell you that I was. Anyways, okay. I love this paper. It's pretty fun. Lots of different tropical stuff, and go from there. The paper that lots of people are loving is this one. And this one looks like something else that it might not necessarily be. When you get a little bit further in, all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, it's white. No, I'm just teasing you. What the heck? This one is the bug one. I think it's not Cute Critters. What the heck's it called? Cute as a Bug. Super sweet little stories on here to cut out and make little images. And then really great backgrounds. So I haven't thought a lot of what I want to do, but I'm going to showcase. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. This paper. So super fun. And then whole little backgrounds to work with, period. So a Z fold might be kind of handy to show off some of this paper. So again, I said last night, and I'll say again, that on the back, the little hack for you is that all the colors are on here. I kind of said that I tend to like using dark, which obviously would be a Blackberry Bliss. But there is a cloud cover in here as well, which might be kind of fun, which is totally the color of this. And I happen to have that right here on my desk. So interesting, the cloud cover, does it have gray in here too? No. So it is a take on it because the cloud cover is looking much more blue than the background of this guy. I'm not maybe going to use this anyways. So I'll put that away. And that's not going to work for me. All right, new color. I could do Blackberry Bliss. Maybe I'll go and grab a Blackberry Bliss and see what I'm going to come up with. Okay, hang on a second. All right, I'm going to cut this guy. I'm going to go down and cut this 4 by 5 1/4 to be a background. I'm going to a simpler card than I was thinking. So I'm going to make a vertical card, which makes it nice to make my first cut that way. I'm going to grab my Blackberry Bliss paper. Yep, love it, love it. I knit at 5.5. Should score it, but I have to tell you that lots of times I'm kind of lazy and I just bring it in. Look at what I'm going to have here. And I just had my bone folder. I had it just last night, didn't I, you guys? Hi, Jane. How are you? There it is. Wait till you see this. So, casting around my room, I'm not quite sure what I was doing today. Being silly. So, instead of coming with an idea for tonight, I'm like, oh. So I had one idea. I think that you heard me say it, a Zed. Look how popping that is. And then all of a sudden my eyes cast it over and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a simple layout. And I think this will be kind of fun. Now, this is super cute. This doesn't actually have any Blackberry Bliss in it, which is sort of interesting because it would be kind of, look how cute some of these scenes are. That is so sweet. So cute. But on, this one has some Blackberry Bliss in it. All right, so I'm going to get my big circle, punch, a friend of mine is going to, hey, look, Marianne, how are you doing? Major Tom is playing in Calgary. I'm guessing it's probably a tribute, is that what you'd call it? Okay, so this guy here, again, last night I was showing, he seems cranky. This could be in the bottom corner. That might kind of work. Okay, gonna go for it. It's a very little face, you're gonna be chopped up anyways. So I've got that song in my head for whatever bad reason at this point. And this might actually work. I'm going to chop this out, and you might be like, it's not in there, but wait and you'll see. I'm thinking. I haven't wrecked anything too much there anyways, but the layout, I'll show you what I'm doing. The other day we were on, I think, a Canadian demonstrators call, and we were given a mystery card. And the mystery card ended up looking like this. So basically that's what I'm working on right now. So this piece here will be covering up that piece there. That's how to get the most of your paper in my mind. We're going to have to fudge it a little bit because obviously it'll be a little bit higher. But I can make him be a little bit more slanty too. Dun, 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 dun. Now, this is pretty busy, but still might work. So let's bring in a little piece of Blackberry Bliss to put our saying on. Oh, do indeed. So Jane's talking about if you guys are reading it live right this very second. I'm assuming she means she did a striped ones. I think. I'm going to guess that that's what she's talking about. Definitely pull out your paper. I think that's great. Maybe you did it before. I feel like a whole bunch of people are working with DSP right now. I have a few different examples of squares. Hang on a second, I'll grab my Blackberry Bliss. Always shocks me when I feel like I have so many scraps, and when I go to actually pull a scrap, it's like, well, except that you don't today. All right, I do. Pretty sure that's not big enough. 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, let's pretend. I don't know if it was that. I'm gonna go by 3. And think it was 1 3/4 by, might have been 2 3/4. I did this one by 1 3/4 by 3. This one I did trim off a little tiny bit because I wanted to be able to see more of this. In this one, I'm going to do the same thing because I do want to see a little tiny bit more. So I'm going to go back and take off at least 1/4 inch of this. Hang on a second. And then this card will be already ready. Okay, so it was at 1 3/4. I'm going to do it 1 1/2 by 3 at this point. And I'll see what words I end up putting on. But that'll work. That covers everything up. And I think maybe it grounds it down again. So whereas this one is a very plain background, this one's a very busy background, and it might not be busy enough. Now, I punched it with a 2 1/2, but I wonder if I have a 2, if I had 2 3/8, which this is probably, I should have cut it with a 2 3/8, and then I could have done that. Circle. Hang on a second. What's the use of being a demonstrator for 100 years if you don't have 1,000 different circles? I am going to cut a border because I just feel like I need to have some definition behind here. So let's see which one will be able to be in here nicely. This one might be kind of nice and it's got some stitching. It'll be fairly wide because it goes all the way out to the edge. So let's see if there's a smaller version of that. This is probably just about the same version. Yeah, that's without for no good reason. So this is a hack for you. I don't know why there's a ribbon on here. I'm not sure why there's a ribbon, honestly. Keychain. It's handy. I just throw them into a drawer, but you're able to hang them up onto a dowling or whatever. Any circle at all that you want, pretend this is the one I want, you just shake it and it can come to the top. So instead of having to take everything off, whichever one you want is always at the top. Does that make sense? So this is super handy for having very similar shapes. And in this case, being able to see if there's one that's the right size. So the one thing is that they're not stacked. This one's actually really good. I'm going to bring this one out and see if these two are the same. No, this one is cut on the stitching basically. Okay, so that one's narrower. That one's probably the better one. And then I don't know that I have one. So the one difference here, oh, this one might be better. Oh, this one's better. I think it's smaller. If you had them all nested, you would see that part a little bit faster than what I just did, if that makes sense. I have this guy right here. Oh. So that would be very subtle. Just a little tiny bit of an edge. That might be kind of fun too. All right. And this one definitely is smaller than this one. So I'm going to cut this guy out. And if I can find that guy quick and easy, I might cut him out too. Hang on, I gotta just grab my purple and cut him out. So embossing, no, not embossing. Die cutting this out. Just 1 minute, please. Let's see what this guy's like. And then I do have those circles right here. Also on the same hook, so you can hear me shaking. I'm going to just cut this out and see what it looks like. And then I'll decide which second one to make. Anyways, I totally have Major Tom running through my head right now. Thanks a lot, my friends who are going to see him. Who else is going to see him? And is it something that's playing in more than just Calgary? My husband went skiing today. My daughter just texted me before I got on the live. And, hi Keisha. she's just on her way to Koh Samui. She's traveling in Thailand right now. I joined her for a few weeks in Vietnam, and she's continuing her travels now. And she's just telling me that the bus driver came to get them, the van driver, I guess, like 30 minutes earlier. But she said, I think that's our guy. When they hurriedly ran after him, he kind of was gone. So she was like, rats. So they ran down to the next hostel and caught up with him. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. This is lovely. Like nice layering. So this is, if I had been planning better, I could have had a punch, because 2 3/8, right? 2 3/8. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3/8 is just under the other. So I can do, yeah, this one might not be enough, right? Put this guy on here. I kind of like the peekaboo of this, but it's not quite enough maybe. So I think I'll just go and cut out another one of those guys. Do you guys have a preference of that? Are you looking at it and being like, holy Lord, why wouldn't you just do that? Now I'm going to cut, you'll see there will be a little edge here, probably not cut out, and that will just go up underneath that as well, because I think it's the best use of not wasting paper, if that makes sense. So sometimes if you think you've made a mistake, your circle might not be. So this little edge here, I will just, when I'm gluing this guy on here, well, in fact, I will totally put it right here, because obviously that's not going to show anyways, right? All right, so glue this guy on. Did people grab this set, or did they just grab the paper? Super cute. Glue this guy on this one. So I am putting a mat on here just because I'm choosing to show off this beautiful paper. I think it tells the story nicely of this. That's good. I'll score this and burnish it a bit better. Glue this on. Who is this person gluing? It's because I've got the card right there, so I know, yep, that's how I'm doing it. So 4 by 5 1/4 onto a base of 5 and, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Did I say 4 by 5 1/4? Yeah. Scored at 4 1/4. Folded, and glue your 4 by 5 1/4 onto that. These guys are 2 3/8 or 2.5 circles. And I will just put him slightly like that. Cute. And then I will be bringing in, and I can, I can drop this down a little bit. I think I'll probably end up using the little bit of purple mat on there. And now I just need to have some sort of words. And what am I going to say about this little day in the park with these people? I do not have this stamp set, so if there is a perfect, oh, thanks. If there was a perfect one in that set, and you're shouting at me, I know I didn't buy that set. I like to have something like says, life's a picnic. Life is better with a friend like you. That'd be cute. Oh, that might be a good one. Sorry. my wheels just launched me. Peaceful moments. Life is better with a friend like you. Too long, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to make that into 2 pieces. Even in this, life is better with a friend like you. And definitely want this in Blackberry Bliss ink. And a piece of white. I'm just laughing. Just out of the corner of my eye, I just saw this, and it's in but it's about autumn, but that would be very cute. And that could work there, but it talks about the autumn tree. And it's for another card basically, but that's kind of nice. All right. Those are not working. I'm going to have to be careful of how I am working this. Sorry, I'm just going to go measure what this is. I could put it onto something like that. I could almost just have it in white, hey? The autumn tree doesn't make sense to me, sorry. My dog's barking, so I paused for a second in my mind thinking, what's he barking at? But mostly I'm thinking, even if I use this shape, which I really like and totally works, it covers it up, then my words need to be a little bit fuller, and I know that I didn't quite have full enough words. So now I'm like, oh, A, what's that shape from? B, I don't have the shape. Woohoo, I do. So where's the shape from, but what words are we got? So let's see here. Hang on a second. I like that shape a lot. And I think the white, I'm going to hope the white works. Okay, and then the words. Life is better with a friend like you. So life is better with a friend like you. I think this will work. So I'm going to put life is better with a, and then the friend like you. So when you are doing this, bring in your stamp. And then you're going to bring in a piece of Scotch tape. Is that what you call this? Scotch tape, don't you? Oops. And I'm going to block the F off. And then I'm going to have that line up right there. And hopefully this all works. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap this edge of it. So how have it synced up? Good, good. And I'll pull off the the Scotch tape. You have to be careful because that is doesn't change the color or whatever. And then I'm going to stamp this. Oh, I'm getting my shirt in there. Life is better. Nice. Okay, clean that off. I am going to use this again because I think I can without getting sticky or inky. Okay, and then ink up this part. Nice. And then perfecto. Cross your fingers how it'll go. Ready? Woohoo! It's just about full enough. What I could do is probably put a little something, something in there. So I'll take this out. Hello. Put that like that. Bring this guy in. And then I'm thinking I could ink around it. That's cute. I think a little tiny bit of paper. What did I do with all that paper? What did I do with that sheet of paper? Did it fall onto the floor? Yes, it did. Could I add a little grape, I'm wondering, along it, hey? So they're carrying that one. If I put a little tiny bit of this in there. Sorry, I'm just off screen chopping out. He'd actually be perfect possibly, but I don't think he lends to the story. I just cut these guys out. He won't be able to be in there, but I'm wondering if I cut this out. And went along here. So I went for a nice walk this morning. It was kind of gray, which that's not usual for, in my mind, where I live. Central Alberta is often cold, but usually very, very sunny and bright and beautiful. But it's been warmer, but cloudier than usual. Kind of a damp chill to the air. I went into town and did the little tiny bit of shopping and went to the mailbox and stuff. So I'm just going to cut that guy right off and come back in here. And I'm not sure if this will work or not. Might be okay there. I have to sit with that for a little tiny bit and see what I think. Not sure if on this guy I have a bow. Could I add a little bow here? A, do I have any of the right color? And B, will it be in a weird spot? Let's see for a second. Sorry, just thinking here. Building and thinking and building. I'm going to cut this off. I can build it up still, so it's not catastrophic, if that makes sense. I just was thinking. Then I could have it higher is all right. And that might be cuter, nicer. And then a bow there might work. What's Vicky saying? I like it. Thanks, Vicky. Blackberry Bliss. Have we ever had Blackberry Bliss? I don't know if we have. What green are we working with here? Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. Crushed curry. There's not enough crushed curry in there. I have a new cloud cover. Hang on a second. I have the new cloud cover ribbon. Would that maybe be pretty? Let's see. Because, oh, and again, maybe it's okay. It didn't go with the paper, but maybe this is similar enough. Okay. It's quiet tonight, you guys. Good thing, because my dog's barking. Cut them too short. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. So I feel like that's going to cover that up too much. I wouldn't mind, so I think maybe I'll bring this down a little bit. And then put this guy down, this guy just with it. Okay. Yeah, excuse me, quit flipping around there. That's too weird all at the bottom. What do you think? Ta-da! That's okay, actually, that kind of sweet. So, gets to show off my DSP again. Gets to share some silly craziness. And even if I don't have this here and just have the bow, that might be nice. And I could still tuck this in up here maybe. Yeah, I probably like that better. All right, so from this little layout, we have yet another card. So we are on a DSP week. If you have some DSP that you should chop into, today is the day. And if you want to post it over on Creativity for Everyone is our group that is associated with my active stamping. And I would love to see your designs over there. It would be super fun. And DSP is very inspirational to everybody. So you'll get lots of people being like, woohoo, yay. And your card will inspire others to join in the making of cards. And then you can mail some as well. And that'll be around and around. All right, gals, I'm going to let you go. Woohoo! This turned out cute. Woohoo! So that is the Cute as a Bug 12 by 12 paper. And it could definitely be done in a totally different tone using this one. Now, if I was really clever, I would have one ready. But this tone with this little party going on top of it. Da-da-da. All right, that's your challenge. Okay, gals, I will see you... golly gee, I won't see you. I'll see you next Tuesday, a week from today. Yeah, I am off to rugby actually, so I will see you next Tuesday night live at 8. It'll be great. Talk to you later. Bye bye.